I am really delighted this morning to introduce my friends, um, John and Aaron from Visual Voice. I have had the opportunity to know John. How long have y'all been in business, John? Like,
Would you believe this past year, 25 years,
oh
quarter
yes, that's right. So I have known you for 25 years, and I remember when they were graphic effects, and I've had a difficult time transitioning to the name, but it's a great name. And I've watched John has done some really cool projects for the partnership, and one
And
of the
for
ones
us,
that I remember is we had our big annual meeting many years ago, and we did this cool little brochure with the turn wheel. Do you remember that, John?
I remember there are still some printers that curse my name for that
Yes,
project,
I bet
but
so. But
at the end, it was worth it.
John is so creative. Artie, love Artie, and Aaron, their newest addition is, he's been with the chamber for a very long time as ambassador and many other roles as well. So I am happy this morning to turn it over to my friends, John and Aaron at Visual Voice.
Tammy, thank you so much. Tammy is one of my all-time favorite people, and it's fun to take the baton from you, my friend. I should mention that our owner, Artie Arlette, whom many of you know well, can't be with us this morning and is more than a little upset about it, but he's got his priorities straight. He is attending with his wife, Kathy, the graduation ceremony of his youngest son, Andrew, who is in the military and at Fort Knox in training here recently. And so it's a big week for them, a big day. Otherwise, he'd be here and would want everyone to say hello. So Tammy, thanks again. I'm John Fischbach. I'm the art director here at Visual Voice, graphic design and marketing agency for 25 years in downtown Maryville. And I have the most ridiculous job in the world. I get to essentially do what I did all in school when I was bored, which is doodle on the side of my paper, only now I get to do it for a living, which is a ton of fun. And I know that makes it sound very simple what we do. But let's start with this. I'd love to share a quick anecdote with you. About 2 years ago, I took a client out to lunch in a local restaurant. We were having a good time, and around the corner, I heard a laugh that I instantly knew. And I said, "Excuse me, I know that laugh anywhere. I'll be right back." And I got up and went around the corner, and sure enough, there was my wife, Sherry. We didn't know that we were going to be at the same restaurant for lunch that day, but she was with her work buddies, and I was with a client, and all I heard was her laugh just once, and I knew it was her. And that's the power of a voice. There is distinction. We know voices instantly so well that we could identify somebody that we know well just by hearing their laugh. Or have you ever had this experience? You know someone just from hearing a cough, but you didn't know that they were in the room, but you know them just by a cough, right? That's how distinctive our voices are. We use them to identify each other. In fact, we even have a phrase. If a person comes into an awareness of who they are and what they're about, and they find the ability to speak with conviction, and they're articulate and they know who they are, we might say about them, wow, that person has really found their voice. And that's what we do for organizations. Visual voice is a fancy, creative way for us to say that we help organizations find their voice, only it's not the kind of voice you hear, it's the kind of voice you see. In other words, we use graphic design and marketing strategy to help companies get a hold of their brand and make it every bit as distinctive and recognizable, impactful, and memorable as when you hear the voice of that person that you know and can identify them. So we've been doing this for 25 years here in Maryville, and I'd love to show you a few examples. Let's say, for example, that you went to drop by the partnership and you went to visit our friend Tammy, and while you were there, you picked up a Tennessee vacation guide for the peaceful side of the Smokies, featuring the new campaign, Perfectly Blunt. Well, that's a visual voice crafted brand. And let's say that Tammy said, "Hey, while you're here, you should go check out the MBA Music and Market event here at the end of the month. That's going to be a lot of fun." And so you do, seeing this poster from Visual Voice. And while you're at Music and Market, which is made possible in part by the city of Maryville, where people are the key, you have a great time and your kids have a blast splattering paint at a canvas provided by Creative Spark Studio, another visual voice crafted brand. And then in the middle of having all that fun, you hear a friendly voice and a tap on your shoulder, and lo and behold, it's Pete Carter of Leadership Blount, who has a snazzy new logo in recent years, right? And then when the event is over, you hop in your car, which features a sticker for Maryville College Athletics, that recognizable M. Well, lo and behold, here's the original pencil sketch for that logo. And then you take that car and you drive down the street, and you know your car needs a wash, and so you run through the Pure Magic car wash. Well, all of these are brands lovingly and carefully crafted by Visual Voice. Our goal every time is to make sure that you have a look and a voice visually and in every way in your brand that is memorable and impactful. It's what we love to do. Can I take you behind the scenes of a case study for our friends down the road in Townsend, Cades Cove Cellars? I hope everyone has enjoyed the products of this incredible winery behind an incredible family. Typically,
John, real quick, sorry, I need to be able to share my screen. Sorry, folks.
We need the great Paul and Tammy too.
I'm so sorry. Sorry, John.
Bestow screen.
You had this beautiful flow going, and I ruined it. So I'm so sorry. I need to share my screen, folks.
It's like that episode of Hamilton where they interrupted the
Okay.
cast.
Can you do it? You see it, Aaron?
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good.
Okay,
So sorry.
You're good to go. Thank you, Paul and Tammy.
Excellent. Thank you. So sorry.
No problem. Okay, so just a very quick case study, a peek behind the curtain of what we do and how we do it. Cades Cove Cellars, for example, is like most clients. Typically, they'll come to us and they'll have a pretty good idea of what they want to say and how they want to be seen, the kind of image they want to project. They just need a little bit of help putting a face on that. And so for Cades Cove Cellars, for example, they came to us saying, we really want to be a world-class winery in our perception, but we also want to feel distinctly East Tennessee and Cades Cove in particular. So can you do bougie, fancy, world-renowned winery, but Cades Cove, East Tennessee style? And we said, sure, we'd love to. We believe that good branding is a combination of two things. Number one, a really strong and powerful concept. And then number two, we marry that with beautiful design. So you see here that we always start on paper because we believe in the power of a good idea. In the upper left corner, you'll see concept sketches for a logo. And Aaron is right now circling that cute little bear with two eyes, and look at that nose and a mouth. Oh my goodness, it's a wine glass. Well, there's your big idea. And as soon as they saw that, they were in love. So from there, we continue to sketch and refine. You can see that we generated custom hand-drawn typography. Then we go digital and refine, making adjustments until it's just right. We make a lot of decisions like, you know what, we don't need those eyes because we want people to focus on that nose and mouth. And sure enough, the result of that is a memorable logo. The results are that 1 in 4 of all customers at the counter comment on the distinction and memorable nature of that logo, which tickles us to death. In fact, they recently won the International Wine Label of the Year award for this label, and 15% of all sales they report are directly attributed to the power of the branding and that logo. And that's what we set out to do every time. We want to make your business bottom line successful through powerful graphic design and marketing. So to get your head around the notion of, hey, is my visual voice, so to speak, memorable? And is it projecting what we would like to project? We devised a fun little game here just to keep this morning a little bit fun. We call it the Visual Voice Identity Game. So what you're about to see are 9 well-known fictional characters. And I'd like you to take a minute to, in your head, see if you can hear the voice of every one of those characters. In a minute, I'm going to show you 3 words for a sample question. And as soon as you think you can identify the character whose voice matches that description, then use your name, unmute yourself, and holler out your name to buzz in, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so my friend Aaron is going to show us 3 words that describe a character. robotic, ruthless, and terminal. Who wants to buzz in?
Tanya, the Terminator.
Boom! Tanya is all over it. You know a Terminator when you see one, or rather when you hear one. All right, well done. So now the stakes get bigger because we've got prizes to give away this morning. And so my friend Aaron Killian, our PR director, is going to get his Bob Barker on and take it away. Aaron?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. This is your chance at prizes. Lovely, 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 lovely prizes. You are playing for, the choice of a $25 gift certificate to Lambert Southern Pies, $25 gift certificate to Pure Magic Car Wash, or 2 bottles of wine from Cades Cove Cellars. So be sure to make sure that you chime in with your name. Also want to mention that all of our winners are going to receive a digital marketing snapshot report chock full of information about your marketing goodness, but also about your competitors. So stand by, everybody. Unmute your mics because you got to use your name. First person to chime in, you got to be recognized. You can't just say your name and then say what it is. You got to be recognized because the stakes are high, everybody. So who would you say has a voice that is villainous, synthesized,
Pete.
and sinister?
Pete.
Pete.
Hey, that's Darth Vader.
You are right, my friend. So Pete Carter, you are the first winner of our game here. So make a note of that, John, if you don't mind, make a note. Pete Carter is our first winner. Now we've got, this is the second prize coming up. Tender, Cool, and Kingly. Don't forget to say your name.
Gene,
Tanya.
Dean.
Elvis.
Elvis. You are correct. So Gene, you are the second winner for our game here. So thank you so much. And you can pick that prize up next week. So after Wednesday.
Aaron, I will turn it over to you and John for the next. I guess you're giving another prize and another little lesson on branding.
That's right, Tammy Ford. We are doing another session of the visual voice identity game. So remember, everybody, as we come back, use your name to be recognized, but whose voice is, again, just to remind everybody what we're paying for is your choice between a $25 gift certificate to Lambert's Pies, $25 gift certificate to Pure Magic Car Wash, or 2 bottles of wine from our friends at Cades Cove Cellars. So whose voice is nasal, nasty, wicked? Unmute your mics, use your name to be recognized.
I'll holler in. Shannon.
Shannon.
Is that,
yes.
that would be the Wicked Witch of the West, right?
You are correct. Yes.
Yay.
Awesome. All right. So Shannon, you're our next winner. We have one more prize to give away. Who is small, friendly, and endearing? Use your name to be recognized.
Melissa. Christina.
Oh, Melissa.
Kermit the Frog.
You are correct, Melissa Spangler. Congratulations. All right. Thank you all for having a little fun with us this morning. So we are going to move on to my section, which is the 5 pillars of online. What? Uh-oh. What just happened? Oh, here we go. The 5 pillars of online presence. So sorry about that little technical snafu, everybody. Okay, so this is what we use when we're working with our clients on the marketing side. John, as our art director and our visual voice art team, work very, very hard to come up with that concept, that big idea, so that you can find your voice. But how do you communicate that voice? How do we get that voice pushed out to folks online? So there's 5 pillars: listings and reviews. And listings and reviews, that could be everything from your Google My Business page to having your information correct on Facebook. There are dozens of online directories that you want to be listed on. Really, there's a lot of benefit from an SEO standpoint when you are on those directories. that would just help boost you organically. Reviews are like online currency. You want to make sure that you're addressing the bad reviews, but also thanking people for the good reviews. There was a study done by Harvard a few years ago where they found that online reviews on a 5-point scale, if you can go from just a half a point up, so if you go from like a 3.8 to a 4.3, that can actually generate on average about 10% more in net revenue for your business. That's the only change you have to make. And I'm going to go into an example here in just a moment and show you a little bit more about that. Social media, you want to make sure your social media presence is very targeted. So if you're doing B2B, you may want to be on LinkedIn. If you're targeting a younger crowd, you may want to be on Instagram. Everybody's on Facebook. So just make sure that you're turning your customers into raving fans. Website is another pillar of online presence. It's not enough just to have a pretty website. It's got to be structurally sound. And another thing too is not only does it need to be structurally sound, but it also needs to load quickly. It needs to load quickly on mobile. It needs to load quickly on desktop, laptop, because you want to make sure that the folks out there don't get tired of waiting for your site to load. A 1.8 second lag can translate into 50% loss in traffic. So for every 1.8 seconds it takes your site to load, that's 50% that you're losing. So you have to work twice as hard to keep the same amount of traffic as your competitors. Search engine optimization, we hear SEO all the time. It's a fun buzzword, but what it actually translates into is to keyword performance. When people are searching for you online, are they finding you online? Are you on the first page of Google? Are you on the map? Those are those things that you want to make sure that you're targeting as well. And then digital advertising. It's not just Google AdWords. It's not just banner ads. There's a whole bevy, array, a smorgasbord of different digital advertising options. I'm going to hop out of this for just a moment, and I want to pull up an example of just to kind of give everybody some background on this. I looked up in Franklin, Tennessee. I didn't want to do anybody local. I didn't want to embarrass anybody. Franklin Auto Repair. And what I found is, are you all still seeing the presentation? Or are you actually seeing Franklin Auto Repair? Let me actually stop and then let me share my full screen. Okay, here we go. So this is what I found. Can everybody see Franklin Auto Repair here on the left side?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, John. So Franklin Auto Repair, when I looked at their site, what I found was they were their rankings were 4.9, so their ratings were really, really high, and it looked great on paper. Their site looked decent, but then I did the snapshot report and I dug in a little bit deeper with them and their site. And what I found is, now we ran this snapshot report, and on a 100-point scale, they only scored a 13 in terms of their listings, their reviews, their social, their website, their SEO, and their advertising. So those are those 5 pillars: listings, reviews, social, website, SEO, advertising. And so their listings, just to kind of show you what's going on behind the veil here, they were inconsistent. The name was inconsistent. Some of it was missing. So there are tools that we have at Visual Voice to help our clients make sure that they are consistent. Reviews, they weren't getting reviews on a regular basis. They were scoring high average wise, but there were opportunities that they could be on 7 different review sites, but they were only on 2. They're not being found on social at all. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And now the interesting thing about this is the website, because I want to dig into this, and we can also look at their competitors too. So Quick Auto and Exhaust, Auto Dr. Franklin, Lex Pro Auto. This is where they got nailed. Franklin Automotive, and I hope nobody on here knows them. So please don't tell them I'm talking about them behind their back. But I just want to pull somebody that was in a comparable area to Marable. Desktop, 1.4 second load speed. Mobile, 9.3. Most of our traffic is coming from these. And imagine how much they're losing because their website's taking almost 10 seconds to load. So for this kind of a company, we could come in, we could make a mobile version of their site, fix that, and really up the amount of traffic that they're getting. SEO, they were ranking at an F. The site wasn't being, it wasn't structured correctly for SEO. And advertising, they're not advertising anywhere. So I just wanted to show you all an example of what we can do from a marketing standpoint, and just make sure that you all are aware. This is a part of, for those that have won prizes so far, this is a part of your prize. You will win a snapshot report. We can go into that, do a deep dive, show you some things that are going on, give you some analytics and some tools to help your business or your association. So just wanted to make sure that you all are aware of those services. So
Great.
thank y'all so much.
Great
And
job,
we will-
Aaron. Great
Thank
job. Hey, did you say that as part of their winning, they get the snapshot? Is that what you said?
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
wonderful.
All winners receive a digital marketing snapshot report. So
Gotcha.
we will provide that to everybody that's won.
Excellent.
And you can use it for yourself. You can use it for maybe a nonprofit that you work with. And so it's some good information that people need to be aware of, because it's not only enough to have a great voice, a great brand, a great visual voice, as we say, but how are you communicating that to the world online? So thank you all so much for letting me take a moment there to just kind of show you behind the veil what we're able to do here at Visual Voice.
Good job, Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you. Now that John has told everybody about branding and finding your voice, and then I've told y'all a little bit about the digital marketing pieces with the 5 pillars of online presence. This is the Q&A portion. So does anybody have any questions that you would like to ask Visual Voice? I'll take the marketing questions. John, if you want to take the branding and design, we can, if everybody wants to unmute their mics. Now, once we get done with the Q&A section, which we just have a few minutes for that, we will do the 4th and 5th final questions for the branding game, and then we'll wrap it up. Before we jump into Q&A, I do want to mention real quick, be on the lookout for some information coming up in about 3 months. We will be doing our 25+1 party. So that is coming up. We're looking at the end of October for that. So we're ironing up the details of that right now. We couldn't do a 25th anniversary last year just due to everything going on with the pandemic, but it's our 25+1 party. So be on the lookout. So does anybody have any questions?
Happy to hear the 25+1. Looking forward to those details. And it's not really a question, it's a statement. John, I was impressed that you used the word bougie.
Thank you. I dug deep for that one. Not every day you can work that in.
Like I'm trying to figure out how I can work it in to my day. No.
I heard it in a country song yesterday, Tammy. So I think it's fair game. Okay, yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
let's just note how John listens to country.
Is that shocking?
When we were preparing for this, John and I yesterday had to run and pick up a couple of things. And in his car, I was like, "You have the Hamilton cast recording?" And he's like, "Yeah, bro, check it out. I got Hamilton. I've got Third Day. I've got like a whole bevy of music that did not overlap. There was like party hits from the 90s. And what else was there?
I think Run DMC was the next
Run
one.
DMC. That's what it, yes.
A little bit of everything.
Yes. So, yeah. So, but John's taught me a lot, having been here. He's a good dude to have, for sure.
Thank you, buddy. Aaron as well. So Tammy, thank you for the kind words. Gosh, this has been truly, really enjoyable. I've got to share one thing. We made the most incredible discovery here just now. Gene, yes, You are, in fact, the sister of my next door neighbor, sweet little Ann Davidson, the best neighbor on earth. Just made that discovery. It is a tiny world, isn't it, Gene?
It is. It is.
Unbelievable.
All right. Thank you.
You never know.
Never know.
We take good care of her.
And you do take good care of her. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. And by the way, while I've got you here, I have a good friend who has expressed to me here in the office his desire to be part of affecting homelessness here in Blount County. So I should introduce the two of you here at some point.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
Okay.
All right, everybody, here we go. Last two questions. You got to use your name to be recognized, but who would you say is squeaky, comical, and cartoonish?
Katie. Katie.
Katie,
Yeah, woo! Mickey Mouse.
you are correct. It's Mickey Mouse. All right. So you are the, let me make a note here. Okay, Katie is the winner. And this is the sixth and final question. So everybody unmute your mics. Be ready. Who's gritty, disguised, and mysterious? Tammy.
If Tammy won't, I will.
Jennifer?
I have no. Were you saying I was gritty, disguised, and mistress?
No,
Mysterious?
I was going to let you have have it.
No.
But Jennifer, do you want to go ahead?
Is it Batman?
It is! It's Batman! All right. Thank you all so much for playing that game with us. So we do appreciate y'all so much. It has been an absolute blast.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, John. Got some
Thank
cool
you.
winners. Got some cool winners today. Anybody have anything else before we go about our Friday, always delivering more than is expected? See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.